Why? You want to make sure to get to all of the easy questions first. So if you see a hard question and you know it's going to take you a long time, skip it. Come back to it at the end, because there's no reason to work really hard on one question that stops you from answering 5 easy questions later on. Does that make sense? Okay. The following question types on the test are arranged by difficulty. Sentence completion questions, which we're going to be talking about in these modules, and math multiple choice questions, which we're not going to be talking about, but it's a good thing to know. The following question types are not ordered by difficulty. They're randomly ordered. Reading comprehension passage questions, all of them, whether they're short, long, or paired, we're going to talk about this, so don't worry about it, but reading comprehension passages are not ordered by difficulty. They actually can be ordered by how the passage works, but they're not ordered by difficulty. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to that later. Improving sentences on the writing, error ID questions on the writing, improving paragraph questions on the writing, and then math free response questions. All of these are not ordered by difficulty, so go ahead and do questions that are easy. You can skip ones that are hard, but try to get them all done. You'll have no way of knowing which is harder than any other. Owning the test booklet. So on test day, the only scrap paper that's available to you is your test booklet. So we want you to own your test booklet. Really take control over it. Do with it whatever you want. Write all over it. Anything that's helpful to you, we want you to write down. We want you to show your work all the time. As you advance through mastering the SAT, you're going to learn how to attack every single question type. As you attack the problem, we expect you to write down your work. Now, this isn't like some math class where the math teacher asks you to write down your work so that the math teacher knows exactly how you're doing the problem. That doesn't matter. What matters is that you write down everything you know. You have to make sure all the material that's in your head gets down on the paper so that you can come back to it when you're answering the question. After you've chosen an answer choice, we want you to write down the letter of that answer choice above and to the left of the question. You're going to see why that's important later, so don't worry now, but this is a really important skill that we teach. You're going to write down the letter of the answer choice that you want to the left of each question. You'll see why it's helpful. Advantages of showing your work. 1. The process of writing your work down frees up your short-term memory for more important processing like answering questions, right? Think of it as freeing up RAM on your computer. If you've written something down, you don't have to remember it anymore, so you have more space to remember other things. 2, if you write down your work, you're going to be able to return to those questions later, to double or even triple check your answers just by following the logic of the work that you wrote down. Does that make sense? If you come back to a question and you haven't written anything down, you're going to be starting all over again. That's not worth it. If you don't write anything down, you're going to have to do the entire problem from scratch. That's not worth it. So write down your work so that if you come back to a question, you can pick up right where you left off. Writing as you think also enables you to approach each question systematically. This is a really important point that we push a lot. It's that we want you to attack each question with a similar strategy. And writing down forces you to engage in that strategy. It's going to help you repeat exactly what you should do, and that'll help your brain get trained to answer those kinds of questions. Doesn't this waste time? It's a real question. A lot of students will ask, is this a sensible way to be taking the test that's so time sensitive, right? You really need to rush through the test, so why should I be writing all this stuff down in my book? It's a great question, but the answer is it actually does save you time. You're saving mental time, right? So that means if you come back to something, you don't have to think about it again. It saves a lot of time when you're double checking your work. And saving time isn't important if you don't answer the question correctly. And we believe very strongly that writing down your work actually helps you answer the question right. Doing the work on paper gets you more correct answers. That's the simple point. And even if it costs a tiny bit of time, it's worth it for the questions you're going to get right. Now,